So, a really great thing about following the NFL in 2023, I think it's a double-edged sword. It can be great, it can be bad. There's more content than ever about what's going wrong in a city like Chicago. You can go find the breakdowns. There's a lot of people doing a really good work about the things that might be wrong with Justin Fields, with what he's seeing. That's what he talked about to the media on Wednesday. Was I'm thinking too much. I'm too robotic. Maybe there's too many coaching points in my head when I go to the line. Things like that. You just mentioned at the top of this that maybe people in the building are like, "Whoa, pump the brakes!" Like it's not as awful as it seems. But with that amount of noise and that amount of people trying to decipher what might be wrong, is there a point where it like reaches critical mass and public perception just overrides the reality of this thing?
Yeah, remember that's a proud franchise with really engaged fans, a major media market, and an owner who wants to win. And George McCaskey has spoken time and time again, whether it be this regime or the Nagy regime, like the importance of getting this thing on the tracks. And I would say if you're doing a power rankings of all the teams in the league right now, the Cardinals have put a better effort than the Bears in two games.
Yep.
The Houston Texans have put a far better effort together than the Bears. CJ Stroud looks further along than Justin Fields right now, and they've lost 12 straight games going back to last year. There's nothing positive to take from this start to the Bears season. And who do they play this week? They play the Kansas City Chiefs in a game that's going to have, not to toot our own horns here, but you got Burkhardt, Olsen, Aaron Andrews. That's our top crew. That's a major national game. So you're under the microscope. You're not buried at some 1 o'clock window with the seventh crew from CBS. Though we sent our A crew to this game, mostly because it's Mahomes. But you also get this storyline of here's Matt Nagy with Mahomes versus the Bears. Oh, you're better off without me. Let's see how that goes. You get Ryan Poles, who came from the Kansas City Chiefs. He's now the GM of the Bears. Let's see how the young protege has grown. Well, it might not be so pretty. This one has potential, off wheels falling off the train, whatever the analogy is, train going off the tracks, feel to it. I don't think I'm being in hysterics when I tell you, like, in that market, 0-3, getting embarrassed on national TV 2 out of 3 weeks and being 0-3, that's rash decisions can be made after that.
So, and that's where I was going to go next. And look, I'm not going to be the guy calling for jobs in week 3. I think that's a little rich. And like I said, these types of conversations usually wait until the holidays at least.
Mm-hmm.
But if this goes as poorly as it looks like it might, and you made a great point, Braxton Jones is on IR. He might be done for the season. They're talking about moving a rookie, Darnell Wright, over to the left side. He's had some growing pains on the right side. Like this could go south in a big way. Do you get the sense, and I'm not talking about firing people, but do you get the sense the Bears might try to do something drastic, whether that's bringing in somebody to help oversee this offense or tweaking the staff or anything like that?
Yeah, I don't know. What are you going to do? You're going to bring in some senior consultant, a Brad Childress type, Mike Martz is going to come in.
I've heard the name Greg Roman a few times. I'm just saying.
Roman, okay. I mean, all this stuff is possible. To do that on the fly in September or October is tough. It's better when you do that in March, April, June, and you start growing it. Like, so you have an offseason to build the offense. Getsy, as we know, a former quarterback, played at Akron. Getsy comes from the Chicago Bears, and that's an Aaron Rodgers, Matt LaFleur type offense. And he had such success with Rodgers that when, Nathaniel Hackett elevates to the head coach at Denver, Getsy quietly gets the OC job in Chicago, pairing him with Eberflus. Two of these guys have obviously not had a ton of success yet. And the contrast from literally 3 weeks ago is enormous. There were people putting Justin Fields in the MVP conversation on ESPN all day. And we were talking about the biggest leap. Who's going to make it? Is it Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields in year 3? And now we're talking, do they need to hire Greg Roman, who got fired by the Baltimore Ravens, because their offense needed to evolve? Again, I don't want to be the one to fire people either. I don't think that's the move. I don't think Getsy's getting fired. I just think everyone has to look in the mirror at this point. And when this quarterback who is in year 3 and has already been given the kingdom and the crown and everyone is so excited about him, and he's saying the word coaching in a week 3 press conference on a Wednesday, well, then all alarms go off in my head. And Dave, you and I have covered this game too long not to know that, okay. So if he's comfortable enough to say that, and whether he meant to publicly or not, that, where there's smoke, there's fire. We all need to look in the mirror and say, okay, this thing can go real south real quick if it hasn't already.
I don't know where it's going, but like I said at the top, I can't remember. Look, there's always going to be a team that's disappointing in September, but I can't remember a team that went from maybe these guys will be worst to first to maybe the staff's not going to last until Halloween. Like I've never seen that happen this quickly in my career.